I'm going to take a document that is a Microsoft Word file, and it's set up with styles. So pollution levels right here, if we take a look at the styles, is currently set up as a title. Overview is set up as a heading 1. I have a little bit of text here that's set up as a lead-in statement. I have some body content down here styled as normal. Then I have a bunch of empty paragraphs because apparently that's the best way to get to the top of a page. And on the next page, I have some more text. I have a table. Inside the table, I have content that's set up as cell body or cell heading. I have a bullet list here for the BRIC region, Brazil, Russia, India, China. I have North America with a bullet list. So what I've basically got is a Word document that has a bit of a range of content in it. And I also have a couple of things that are set up with a character tag called intense emphasis. So my goal is to take that content and bring it into this FrameMaker environment. And in the FrameMaker environment, I already have a document, and this one is set up as a FrameMaker source file. Now it's got some text inside it because earlier I was playing with this, so I'm just going to delete that. What we have is a document with absolutely nothing in it. The document has a structure view that's already showing. It has the elements showing, and in order to get to that point, I had gone in and used the XML structured environment. If I reset the workspace, it's back to what I initially started with, and I can expand and I can customize by dragging and dropping and placing my structure view or placing my element catalog off to the sides of the screen. And I can dock those in a pretty broad range of ways. I'm looking for the little flyout area so that I can dock this. Let me try that once more. There we go. And I can resize those. I'm running it at a resolution that doesn't leave me a massive amount of screen space for the document window, but the file itself is a relatively small page size. So here's my document, and in the document, I'm going to import my Word file. So I import my document, and the one that I'm getting is my pollution levels docx. And just before I import that, let's make sure pollution levels, this is .x, pollution levels live demo, close parentheses, save that. I'm going to close off the Word document. And there is my pollution levels. I'm going to copy it into the document as a Word file. And then I'm going to be prompted on how I want to go in and convert this. So I could go in and start setting up all of these options. Now they're already pre-configured because I had a style setting. But instead of your R&D, you could have a sales department or a support department, and any one of those could have a different set of source templates. My R&D team happens to be set up so that they are using things like normal and lead-in statement and heading 1s and heading 2s, and I've mapped these to a FrameMaker equivalent. So as I go through and I import content, there's my live demo text. This is the real file that I just worked with a moment ago. It's been pulled in, and this is now a title. This text is now my BB body begin. I have an overview, which is a heading 1. I have my table. It's been migrated to a FrameMaker table for appearance. I have a bullet list that's set up with a little bit of design to go across 2 columns. And I have a couple of keywords like North America that was set up as emphasis heavy and BRIC that was set up as emphasis heavy. So now I have a document that's inside my FrameMaker world, and I'm going to save that. This is my FrameMaker source file. The next thing that I want to do is go through and start building my conversion table. So under the structure, utilities option, I can generate a conversion table, which parses my entire document. And the result is this conversion table that scans and finds paragraph and characters and tables with this mix of elements. They are automatically mapped. Because I am incredibly lazy, I've already gone through and started cleaning some of these up a little bit. So I actually have 2 versions of the conversion table and a finished one. So I'll just open those 3 files up. My first conversion table is pretty much the default conversion table, CT01. So if I go through and I select for my document to structure it, what I get is very much the default conversion table. And that conversion has absolutely nothing to do with anything that is DITA related. The table is picked up and the pieces in it are structured as body, row, cell, cell heading, etc. Everything's red because it doesn't match any of the rules of my document. So I can take this file, close it off. I consistently close off my structure. So I have a structured developer environment that I've previously saved, and I can go in and reset that workspace so that I get all the bits and pieces that I like working with. And in this case, the element's set off to the side or in the middle rather than to the side. But there's my pollution level. That was my conversion table 1, default. My conversion level 2 has a couple of things that are set up, but I haven't yet gone through and cleaned up anything related to table, and I haven't nested any content. Let's see what that one does. So I take my FrameMaker document, and again, I go in under Structure, Utilities, and Structure the current document. This time I'm going to use my second conversion table, and you'll see that it's a little happier. It has things like title, short desk, it has a second title, and a paragraph. It hasn't nested these pieces into a section, nothing's in a body, my tables are still messy. So now we'll see the best of the conversion tables, because it's the finished conversion table. And again, if anybody wants to email me, and it's in the video, I'm actually saying this, so if you want to email me, feel free to send me a message, and I will give you the sample files that I'm working with here so that you can follow along in the video. So this is now the finished conversion table, and if you wanted to, you could go through and you could write up the entire conversion table. But what I want to draw attention to is that there's two titles, this title, and you'll see that one is set up as the main, the other is set up as a sub. And what that means when we get into the important stuff down into here is that if there is a subtitle followed by paragraphs, they become sections. But if there's a main title followed by a short description in the body, it becomes a topic. So this is where you have that opportunity to go in and to use different paragraphs in order to perform different functions. All right, so fingers crossed on this one. We're going to take the source file that was live. I'm going to go in, I'm going to structure using utilities, structure the current document using my final conversion table, and I get a document that's completely structured except that it's missing an ID. So I can right mouse click and I can assign an ID to a single element or to all elements of a given type. So if there are multiple places that you need to make corrections, the software is already configured to do so. I now have a document that to my eye looks like it is in good shape, but there's a possibility that I missed something somewhere. For argument's sakes, somebody had a short description backwards, or there was an ID that was missing, etc. You have the option to go in and under the structure menu to validate, which basically means compare my document against the rules. This is a way of ensuring there's no deviation from what's required according to the rules. All right, so now this document is structured. I come along, I do my save as XML. And the reason I'm saving it as an XML file, and I'll just call it pollution levels. I'm going to save over the old copy that I have. The reason that I'm saving it is because I want to show you the last thing you can do with XML, and that's to apply a different template. So notice the look and feel of this document. You can see the red, you can see the table, you can see the side heads, etc. I'm going to close off the documents that I have here. I'll get down to just my FrameMaker environment, and I'm going to open up the XML file that I just created. Pollution levels, you can see it's 2:16 p.m. That is the current time, 2:17. All right, so it was a minute ago. It's already outdated. I'm going to open the file up, but it's going to open into the template that I have rather than the source document. And in this template, the look and feel, there's all my structure, but in this template, the look and feel is based on an 8.5 by 11. It's automatically set up my header so that it reads pollution levels live demo. My table is resized to be across the entire column. I have my brick region with bullets. And if I go in under view and I turn off my element boundaries as tags, this is what my finished file looks like. So I have a completely formatted finished file. This is inside FrameMaker 2017 live demo at STC. And then I save that and I close it. And the last thing I'm going to do is go over, this is FrameMaker, but this is the previous version. If I go in and I choose to open up and I find my file from STC, and it's for the 2017-2018 summit, and I drill down to today's stuff, and I find the pollution level XML, and I pop it open. Inside FrameMaker, it opens the document. There's the structure. Here's a completely different look and feel. The table has background shade. You can see that there's the use of side heads inside it. I've just opened up the software not only in two different tools, but in two different templates within seconds of having converted and created it. So once you get your content to DITA, it is easy for you to take that content and work in multiple different software tools. Whether that's an author tool or a publish tool like what you have inside FrameMaker, if you want to take the DITA content, import it into RoboHelp, if you're going to manage and use a content management system like the Adobe Experience Manager with the XML add-on, there are all kinds of options that are available to you. And hopefully, as I've demonstrated here, it's a relatively quick and a relatively easy thing to do. And lastly, in the video, if you want a copy of the sample files that I've worked with, you can send an email to me. If you send it to bernard@publishingsmarter.com, I will try to get the files back to you. Please let me know that it's in regards to the STC Adobe Day demo on structured authoring. Thank you.